I always feel broke.
I'm broke, nigga! I'm broke!
Even though I'm making quite a bit of money, probably around like the top 5% in Canada and maybe even across the world.
Wow. What a feeling.
I feel broke, like genuinely. And the reason is because there's always something that I can't buy, or there's always something that I can't achieve. And there's so many different business opportunities, there's so many different investment opportunities, and I cannot get into those because I just don't have the capital.
I'm broke, nigga! I'm broke!
And that's why I'm constantly feeling broke. So anytime I get a raise, anytime I buy something or anything, anytime I get like an increase in funds, it doesn't feel like that much. And this is something that I've like struggled with for a while, like all the way back to when I was young up until like now, even post university, especially during university. I mean, in university I was literally broke.
Do you take teardrop?
Now I'm not literally broke, but I am feeling like more figuratively broke.
What?
And yeah, I mean, like, this is something that we should talk about. It's like the grass is always greener. You buy a nice car, you buy a nice apartment, you're going to fancy restaurants, you're traveling, but you still feel broke. And you felt broke when you were making 50K, you felt broke when you were making 100K, you still feel broke when you're making 200K.
Now that's a little too much.
In fact, I spoke to people that are making millions of dollars, and they still tell me that they feel behind, just like me. And I'm like, what? I thought about it for a second. 4th year university student version of myself spoke to me today. That person, that version of myself would think, oh my god, this guy has it all.
I can make that much money in 5 seconds.
This guy has the car, the house, he has everything. He can go to fancy restaurants, he can go travel, he can start a YouTube channel, hire an employee to help manage his YouTube channel. And that's awesome, right? But then me here today, I feel behind, I feel broke. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually add up.
What?
Like being the top 5%, how do you feel broke? What about the rest of the 95%?
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
And I think it comes down to just like changing your time horizon from a couple of weeks to a month. So having the expectation that I'm going to have a fancy car in the next year or so. Instead of saying that, why don't you say I'm going to have a fancy car in the next 10 years?
What is taking so long?
That way you give yourself time to earn the money needed to get that fancy car, and you won't feel behind because you have the whole 10 years and you can get a lot done in 10 years. And it's the same thing.
A very long time.
A very long time.
Instead of saying I need to get a bigger house in the next 2 years, why don't you say I need to get a bigger house in the next 10 to 15 years?
Now that's a little too much.
You know what? Even say 5 years. 5 years is a lot of time to save up for a down payment and get your next property and move into a bigger property. And by that time, your income would have also increased. You would have gotten experiences and skills that will make your job more secure. You would have become smarter as a human being, and you would have had better decision making, better judgment. In general, you just be a better person overall and much more equipped.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
To be able to maintain and take care of that property. So give yourself time. That's one thing that I've always struggled with. I've always rushed into things. I've always wanted the next big thing, and I wanted it today.
I want it now.
But now I'm trying to change my time horizon. I'm trying to think long term, and long term to me is like 5 to 10 years, even more than that, 15 years.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
And so what do I need to do in the next 5 to 10 years to achieve my goals, instead of what do I need to do in the next 6 months? Because 6 months is not a long time, but 6 years is.
Well, duh.
And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. That's something I struggle with. I'm sure a lot of you guys struggle with too. If you resonate with this, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.